Hello, writers. We are nearing the end of our second bend and our second fairy tale adaptation today. So, welcome to session 10, Painting a Picture with Words. So, I want you to take a look at this chart here called Language Paints a Beautiful Picture. And it discusses some different ways we can use language to really help our reader or our listener visualize. Use describing words. Reach for precise, exact words. Use opposites to show differences. Use repetition of sounds, words, and lines. We worked on that in our session about refrains. Make a comparison, like he walked like a penguin. So today I want to teach you that writers write and revise their fairy tales by using what they know about language to paint pictures in the minds of their readers. Today we're going to focus on two parts of this chart, but you can pull other strategies from the chart as well. The first one we're going to talk about is making a comparison. The example on the chart was, he walked like a penguin. Comparisons. Fairy tales are full of them. So here's an example. Cinderella was sweet and gentle and good as gold. At once she arose and fled, nimble as a deer. The glass slipper went on at once, as easily as if it had been made of wax. So take a second here, turn and tell your partner what comparisons are in these sentences. What is the author comparing Cinderella to? What is the author comparing the slipper to? Adding comparisons is one way writers revise fairy tales to make sure they paint pictures in the minds of their readers. Remember how to write a comparison? You can take something ordinary, like a shoe or a tree, and compare it to something that's similar in some way. So let's practice. Little Red Riding Hood wore a cape as red as... what do you guys think? She wore a cape as red as... if it's red, so we want to know it's not a pale red or a pinkish red, but a strong, vivid red. We have to think of something else that has a similar kind of red. Something that's a strong red. The cape was as red as... maybe your cheeks when you're embarrassed, or as drops of blood, or as a heart when a heart loves something. The other part of the chart that we're going to talk about today is using describing words. You want to make sure that the words you use really paint a picture for the reader. Red, tiny, grimy. Well, in fairy tales, describing words are often used to describe characters. Describing words help us picture the characters living in these fairy tales. For instance, we don't just call her Riding Hood, we call her Little Red Riding Hood. Right there, it describes it right in the title. And in the Three Little Pigs, we don't just call him the wolf, we call him, the big bad wolf. So you can revise your writing by finding the names of characters in your fairy tales and imagining different words to describe them. So instead of saying Riding Hood, Little Red Riding Hood. So writers, do you see how we can just revisit writing tips and use them in different ways? This helps us become better and stronger writers, and writing comparisons and using describing words helps us to paint beautiful pictures for our readers. Let's take a quick practice. Cinderella sat in the attic on her cot. A tear slid down her cheek. Turn and talk for a moment. How can we help to paint a more vivid picture here? here's an example I thought of using kind of both of the strategies we talked about. So instead of just sitting in the attic on her cot, Cinderella sat in the dark and dusty attic on her hard cot. A single tear slid down her smooth cheek. Do you see how I really pull the reader in and paint that picture using language? So now it's your turn. You're going to choose a strategy from the chart and revisit your small moments or scenes to look for places you can revise and add. You can do this work by cutting and pasting extra paper if you need to, using a different color pencil, whatever works for you. Off you go, writers. writers, I'm going to interrupt your language work for a minute. If you're feeling pretty good about your revisions, now might be a good time to start remembering the importance of narration. Remember, we want to include narration in our fairy tales to give that backstory at the start, stitch our scenes together, and make sure that we provide that sense of closure for our readers. So if you're feeling pretty good about your language choice right now, why don't you go ahead and add in your narration for this fairy tale? Off you go, writers. right, writers, for share today, we're going to take about 5 minutes right now to go write Fast and Furious. Get the ending of your story written. And then after 5 minutes, we'll do some trading and sharing to get feedback from our partners. After that, whatever time we have left in Writer's Workshop today is your time to go back to your writing and work on any piece of your fairy tale that you need to, because tomorrow will really be our big editing, revising, and publishing day. All right, you have 5 minutes to go write your ending fast and furious, then we'll do some sharing. Off you go, writers.